Hi, this is Red Story. Thanks for stopping by. Subscribe, leave comments if you enjoy it. My friends, we really appreciate your support. Thanks for watching, and let's dive into a new video.
The marriage without love. It wasn't love. I knew that from the beginning. Her name was Rachel, and we worked together in a laboratory, spending endless hours side by side. Often, we were stuck there for 12 hours a day, working on projects, running tests, and sharing small parts of our lives over coffee breaks. She became a close friend, someone I could rely on and talk to, but nothing more. Looking back, I can't say that I ever truly imagined being intimate with her. Sure, thoughts crossed my mind once or twice, fleeting images of what it might be like, but they never brought me any joy or excitement. It wasn't desire. It was more about the closeness, the friendship. As a person, Rachel was great, smart, kind, and supportive. As a friend, she was someone I genuinely liked being around. One evening after a long day in the lab, we found ourselves at a bar. It was her birthday, and a few colleagues had gathered to celebrate. The drinks were flowing, and after a while, it was just the two of us left, sitting at the bar, talking and laughing like we always did. "Another round?" I asked, raising my hand to get the bartender's attention. Rachel smiled, her cheeks already flushed from the alcohol. "Why not? It's not every day I turn 30. I nodded, and soon we were holding fresh drinks. The conversation flowed easily, like it always did. We talked about work, life, and shared the little stories we hadn't had time to tell each other during the day. "You know," Rachel said, swirling her drink thoughtfully, "I never thought I'd be here, working in a lab. It's not the most glamorous job, but I like it." I smiled. "Well, you've got the brains for it, that's for sure." She laughed, playfully nudging me. "Stop it. You're making me blush." A comfortable silence settled between us for a moment, and I couldn't help but think about how easy it was to be around her. There was no pressure, no expectations, just a natural friendship. But then, as the night wore on and the alcohol took hold, something shifted. "You ever think about us?" Rachel asked suddenly, her voice quieter, more serious. I blinked, surprised. "Us? What do you mean?" She looked down at her drink, biting her lip. "I mean, we spend so much time together. People at work even joke that we're like an old married couple. You ever wonder what it would be like if we were more than friends?" I wasn't sure how to respond. It was a thought I had buried deep down, a possibility I hadn't allowed myself to explore. "I don't know," I said slowly. "I guess I've thought about it. But we're friends, Rachel. Good friends." She nodded, her expression unreadable. "Yeah, friends." We finished our drinks, and before I knew it, we were in a taxi together. The city lights blurred as we sat close, too close. Her hand found mine, and in the hazy fog of alcohol and confusion, we kissed. It wasn't passionate or romantic. It was desperate, maybe even lonely. We kissed again, and by the time we reached her apartment, things had gone too far. When I woke up the next morning, the sun was streaming through the blinds, and Rachel was asleep next to me. I stared at the ceiling, my heart heavy. Asterisk, what the hell did I just do? Asterisk, I asked myself. This wasn't supposed to happen. Rachel stirred, stretching and yawning as she woke up. When she saw me, she gave a soft smile. "Morning." "Morning," I replied awkwardly, unsure of what to say or how to act. I reached for my clothes, pulling them on quickly. "Coffee?" She nodded, and we sat at her small kitchen table, sipping coffee in silence. The tension between us was palpable. Finally, she broke the silence. "You don't love me, do you?" she asked, her voice soft but direct. I nearly choked on my coffee, caught off guard by her bluntness. "What?" Rachel sighed, setting her cup down. "I'm a woman. I can tell. You don't have to pretend. It's okay. I know you don't love me, not in the way a man loves a woman. And if what happened last night doesn't mean anything to you, I'll understand." I opened my mouth to say something, but nothing came out. She was right. I didn't love her, not in the way she deserved to be loved. But the guilt and the loneliness weighed on me, and I couldn't just walk away. "Rachel, I don't know what last night means. I care about you, I really do. You're one of my best friends." I hesitated, unsure of my own words. "Maybe we could try." She gave me a sad smile, her eyes searching mine. "Are you sure? Because if this is out of pity—" "It's not pity," I said quickly, though part of me wasn't sure that was true. I don't know. Let's give it a shot." And so from that point, I convinced myself that being with her was the right decision. Maybe I thought I could grow to love her. Maybe I thought love wasn't necessary for marriage. After all, plenty of people marry for companionship, right? So we got married a few months later, and in those early days I really tried. But as time went on, things became more difficult. Every morning when I woke up beside her, I asked myself why we were even together. The doubts that had been whispers in the back of my mind grew louder. I kept telling myself that this was normal, lots of couples live like this. But the truth was, I was lying to myself. Then came the irritation. Little things that never bothered me before started to grate on my nerves. The way she laughed too loudly at the TV. The way she hummed while doing dishes. The way she'd ask me about my day when all I wanted was silence. Every day the frustration built, until I could barely stand being in the same room with her. One night after dinner, I couldn't hold it in anymore. We were sitting on the couch, the TV on in the background, and Rachel was talking about her day at work. "Rachel," I interrupted, my voice sharper than I intended. "We need to talk." She turned to me, her brow furrowed. "What's wrong?" I can't do this anymore," I said, running a hand through my hair. "I thought I could. I thought maybe I could grow to love you, but I don't. I'm sorry. I've been trying, but it's not working." Her face fell, and I could see the hurt in her eyes. "You don't love me." "No," I said, my voice barely a whisper. "I don't." The silence between us was heavy, filled with all the things we couldn't say. Finally, Rachel nodded, tears welling up in her eyes. "I knew it," she said, her voice trembling. "I knew this was coming. I just didn't want to believe it." "I'm sorry," I repeated, feeling like the worst person in the world. "We should have never gotten married," she said, wiping at her tears. I thought maybe you'd come to love me. But you were right from the start. We were friends, just friends." The divorce came quickly after that. There was no drama, no fights, just a quiet, mutual understanding that our marriage had been a mistake. After we signed the papers, Rachel moved out, and we drifted apart, only speaking occasionally. In the months since the divorce, I felt something I hadn't in years: freedom. I no longer wake up with that weight in my chest, the burden of pretending to feel something I didn't. For the first time in a long time, I feel like I can breathe. And if there's one thing I've learned from all of this, it's to never make decisions out of pity or loneliness. Because love, real love, is something you can't force, and without it, you're just living a lie. Comment section. User 1. Wow, this story really hit home for me. I stayed in a relationship for years because I thought I should love the person. But it never came. Thank you for sharing this. User 2. It's brave to admit when you've made a mistake, especially in marriage. I'm glad you found the strength to move on. The part where she said she could feel he didn't love her, that was heartbreaking. No one deserves to be in a loveless marriage. This story shows how important it is to listen to your heart. It's better to be alone than to be in a relationship without love.